Te memo akwa ba kese de ba TVSYZ election Powerlane jumedie ana ebraso se ye de ba be bia wajebre na ohwe ya no pai ye de ba na ye de bra be somo midin de enke Obrempong jumedie me na medi ho chia me ase ensem a esisi wo oman Ghana ha especially okomra hye bedwam onam oman Ghana afie ye to aba ebo nhu oyam hyehyewa na ene ye bebe mo wakoma to yem kra. If it's a Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Suma Nakis for the Bagman Wakasai was a Ghana Constitution, no, be anywhere to a phone, be anywhere I say, into a Maoyamisha show, into Bomoding, so near Bedi Jumedi and Copem say a year 12 p.m. A bebona fe BBRA womb, Fisabre Copem say a cotuaba, a cut 30 days, pepe, and nebosomeda, and they on the 7th of November. Now, by this time, about 2 o'clock, the day or mine Ghana ha. Na fe ya hwe ne etumi no ebetimi ade ni nsem from 2025 okọ na watimi ababedi o man Ghana so ene ebeba wuram e His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne nsem ba ko mienu bi a ekoso afe the chairman of the NDC Johnson Esiedin Ketia oguso oba pro ode nsem bi atoto dwa ebekwa akwakotie Professor Jane na Opoku Ajiman a oye running medima His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ono nso guso oba pro ne nsem bi ode atoto dwa yebebo modin abapi ho ni akwakohwe nyina ye wie a yakopiem ewo mrahye begem the Parliament of Ghana enen sem ekoso said ye before ansa na eye mrahye begem chia mepani eye Alban Sumana Gbagben wo bebe tu mrahye begem de ahye da no na NDC at majority because no more 136 seats and now members of parliament na for MPP 135 eho na de sa nteme ho ase ne ba ya ma ye tu eye mrahye begem sheda enei Parliament tenase MPP bepene se ye NDC internal majority anade ni besi twen ye menko ba bia edane ho aba ne ato adwumede ni so ntimi mo akwa ba bia election Powerlane ka na hunu se ye ne edi sa adwumede e de abom number no ebeda screen no so message bia won so wo abetim de aba bedom dwumede bo modern na send bra e begebre di ama ujumedi so na afa ya kenkan me ba cho message pe WhatsApp message pe ana obetimi di afa so onfa video onfa voice note enka ho fa message kra no summarize na ketua bi na fa brain ye beje bre na afa ya kenkan e di ama ye bowrem first e wo ye national chairman of the NDC e Johnson Esiedin Ketia ne nsem bi a wakeka wo se obomodin na wo to aba edema His Excellency John Dramani Mahama de aka hunu se social amenities enya de de ohaw kra bibia beba John Mahama ebeye bibiara ma oman na fa ntima bebe efra yenkohwe Johnson Esiedin Ketia amra
ika no ne nantie enti John Dramani Mahama de oyetania wabedi oman so aya hwe na djuma ensa no ya hunu se oye nipa otu abama no oye efri se obia wari akoto okaso obewe kurawa ye gina chinye eyetu ekwa yi amoka ho asemu sama umbabi Mahama ya kwa ya bedru enti okaso obetu aso adru babi ye gina chinye na obia ono ba no se oba bedra boso me du nwotwe achi Ghana krobia ni wa yebedi tiafi ana ensuo ho haubiem ono atra so amfia nwotwe na nna ya ba akwara nyame ha na ya ne ho asem ana omode to yanim a anya mabo anya reho echese ye obaka no ensuaya enyoko wantimi eno ntimba staw metio munya omukwan na wamuko na yama wamukwa yama wamu messenger prempe onsua wamu chop box no go ja omukwa osi nyame nkyira no ne tamfo no ono betimi ache na de eno nti nyame akyira mu nipa
Chairman Johnson Esiedin Ketia de ma NDC amanyokun ana wote se wo kasa se ye Ghana fo afi omunya driver ene ni mate ni nyina akwan na omonko na wobi e wo ba na o hyebo se wo no wo ba pa de ayi de toilet ne ho nsensem de nya de be ye how na afi wo makoko pie kuro so a sabre kuro no wo mu bisa eye sane me ho nsem de na chese wa feeling ti magana for ento abane man ye bawuram sabre amene wo de ka sai de eye na hye badwam chia me pani watenase eye Urban Sumana Bagben watenase enra ne press conference oye ni nsem ni bi a wo keka ye ene se wono waye ready se wo bebo moden na waboa na omayim na hye badwam enhyehyɛ bi biara timi ato wodin wono waboa no ho pa ebi se wobra wo mo to abama no so meye mrahye badwam chia me pani no wobomode asi na adwenpi no oso afenamu anase osuaye de kire o man Ghana owiei ode nyankopon emmoa etaya kire se bibi obeye bia no onyankopon emmoa no nti ono se oye mrahye badwani chia me pani na onyade a o free sui abribia wode nokre ene mra ana be yadwuma yem ko aye mrahye badwam na afi yen konkohwe de ACO sesi amra. Okay eti ya to so omo anche bia ye bebo mode ne abawuram e wo mrahye badwam yes se wo hwe mrahye badwafo no ana wo mo abomoden akwako du mrahye badwam a wo mo tenaso no ye bo ade awuram na afi yakwakohwe de ekoso e wo mrahye badwam se wo hwe the current majority leader Kisley ato forcing ana okwa odanda ne ho no anopa no na enye asemkumu akra e wo mrahye badwam na wo hwe NDC fo na omadi kan akwakotena omo majority position omakotena majority position na afi wo mo hyehye se bibi biara betimi akwakoso na ene nkomo a bekoso wo mrahye badwam no enya de keto akra se wo hwe nsem a Speaker of Parliament Urban Sumana Bagben and better to Ghana na nya grokra kwame minka ensa yensa kanene ewo dwumadi so enye kwame me wakwa ba mejo so normal wo do asi sabre simple sabre yen ka say Speaker of Parliament right honorable Urban Bagben were two or more entrance no asheda okay I said the last time oye sade no na because said nipa dom na e wo say ba no no mo no so a obetime gina omodom no so e de asi gina ye me sure say bia eno sa na baba enche bia ne or therefore be kasa no de ncheche mu no so e de abre kai say e bra na dwumade ne be koso no wodim yenko bra so be dwefe ne entie ne yekoso sisi ye
Parliament to be recalled failed to show up today, and the Speaker once again on the floor.
Okay, Kwame.
If we no don kuma for no na omo person mo ye ezentwefo nhia mo yanya abotre ye nua no join us for feed any fi sisi no so e na fe so ye kasa no so ye parliament na kasa no so e wo feeder and also ya na ye fa ntie be interchange feed no ni ahese de normal AC ko ni ye ya o ma jane parliament no bi so therefore the intra
yen ko ahma no so ye ne therefore kwasi be chi centroni e ma TVSYZ na fe power o therefore me mo akwa baba election Powerlane so anopai
ye ne Obrempong
na o to say
nyame adu bibia bako
twamfoni fa kire ye mra se bedwanim den na ekoso osisi a
me da se sam me de mra se bedwafo do ma se tran on ba ne na ba wiye ne chechi mu ne se eye NPP MPs minority side no ana do mo san share kraka se if you say parliament e wa homogem the parliament wa homogem now per se parliament metransia na se bedwafo no hie mu abupen edunum 50%. Don't do such a crata as say, and we hear say, speaker, parliament about it, and a speaker best announce on them no as 1 week 7 days, and the speaker best parliament. So, yeah,
Yentie ato force FM Rasia,
and I was informed that she is out of the jurisdiction, and no one has reached out to him to program the business of the day. I was worried and reach out also to the MPP side and to have an indication as to what their plan is. No one responded. I am deeply worried and deeply concerned that the very people that requested for Parliament to be recalled failed to show up. Clearly what we are seeing here is an abuse of the Constitution and the standing orders of Ghana's Parliament. The NPP minority caucus have indeed caused financial loss to the state and to us the NDC members of parliament and to the people of Ghana. We say this because this recalls cost Ghana money. This is not the first time that they have done this. They've done this a couple of times, but we see nothing than disrespect. We call on the people of Ghana to see the behavior of the MPP and punish them accordingly. They have certainly, everything shows that the MPP are tired, they are fed up, and they are not ready to work for the people. They are bereft of ideas and they are short of vision. They cannot solve the suffering of the people. All what they do out there during campaigns, in spite of the hardship, is to sing and dance Osisikia. That's all what they do. In times like this, when the ordinary Ghanaian is struggling to survive, they are dancing and singing Osisikia and sharing money. We want Ghanaians to see them as such and vote against them and sack them. Because clearly, you can see, we have over 100 NDC MPs here today out of the 137, and we are determined to do what is right. But colleagues, let me make this point to the people of Ghana. Let no one deceive you that the NDC is here to obstruct the people's business. No, we are rather here to work for the people of Ghana. We see this as a call to duty. We turn up in our numbers to do what we have to do, only to find out that the very group of people that called us to consider government business, they have no business. So the truth out there is that there is no urgent government business. There is no urgent government business and the government has no business. They have given up, they've checked out, and they want the election to be done as soon as possible so that they can leave office. Fellow Ghanaians, let's vote against this incompetent government and have our country back. Thank you.
Therefore, so what to mean can any intina sabre, Masabejum Chami Penny, was a year to a year or Massitina Yasada?
Obrempong that say, simple, every say, and Masabejum forward, and our home team. So who are home team? Yes, Masabejum Media, calling Peswaso, and an amount for our Putin Como. But after now, we buy and near me, of course, no much that maybe you all know my Saba, my city Georgia, but the Abba too. It is a message of our who say, be here, a message of one ever transfer. And by Embremu, my message of one is a nipper message of more between 16%. It do at the crack of Omika and crack at the speaker. We hear we are more minor and the other parliament transfer. Also, Bania Canada, who don't say that who demand speaker. I have 7 days, also speaker at parliament now, ever. That and a bet now watching Terminal, and my subject of 4 bars, speaker at any house, not indefinitely. And my subject of 4 no more MPP for Edom Kumasi, Edom Mutako and Kratas there. And near my old man who has a message of 4 about the country speaker, Emma Hopine, and my subject of 4 Emma. Speaker, the constitution. Any standing orders, I do my actions up and a subject of one. Then, if we are not Pabe, no, clearly they do run. At the 2 Sunday, I'm a subject for domestic in a bay. Ora, attach, I will free Don Kuma Nafa, and I'm being a new and Ora and the Apia Kubi, and I'm big many a woman and a panel. I could please speak at Transit or Transit next. You're born by a year in the anno so. Omo, to suffer as my subject for them Ramakan, only Hanum. Then my subject for transfer, no big mediana. It's only a meeting a day before, and now say before say my subject for them no more so okay. And then you might be a whole and 9 agenda. I want to be a Makuma 9 and maybe do Juma. We see near we see near we see near Omni speaker any afternoon in Abako and son of Mababa Bishia. As a breast speaker about transfer. But that's what you say. Be uncle so. I say, and now to tell Moban, win Baba. And because of that, I catch it for home. I said, other people know to be a human. And Tumba, I said, there's no other people before them. There's no agenda before them. And Japanisana, Nipa also makes my class a diguma. But be any woman, because a be any woman, a government business, or making a class to be a diguma.
What's a man? Speaker say omo to nsafre no omo timi ama MPs na he na uhu wo ho na what mean e bi so adi nkomo de nti a omo ma eye na hye bedwama ne ye omo ma to nsafre omo na
Unse your point na NDC MPs na no more majority no bet carry 100 and over and as fans all the 100 and that's 90 na wa hanon but me over attach ya any and their people appear could be one am doing him but over attach ya no be real and later o ka so no call for ni hanon to no ma de ko ani omunia enti o ko e bia na meeting bi ko so a onu ma akwa akohwe enti o ko e no amabiem na Wamabim ana African Edia Baby, and you know, you see, then one or rat to force it, and essential for Kata, more from Sabubiama or Manfo XC. But some meaning empty to Amman about who be winning the Katanaya, Yakoso, your Beka one. Okay. On a pandemic, you come over 1 minute to be. Menya and myself, Jenny for or calculating of Ewa Han, who are Yiniaba Teresa Awuni. In Wakaba Chilias was a power SL.
Oh, Michelle Bibia, Michelle Juma, Fenina.
Yakofini, be another cat.
Well, California, 8 now, Omube who or more, or mine or Macomaso. California, the who or more. Generally, no, or Mujay or mine. As far as Muna mutia baby. It's no what was here. Dibia na ya betna Mumma. Dibia ni aba mumma. That is a position no. Baby almost now said they or who here almost see a jumana. Omu ba de magana mino. They are not just ready. And Ghanaians have finished. Ghana for me pramacho. Mwenimwa. MP before you jum amunya ready crowd or some be juma mino. Eti no muntu tia wo bibia MPP ni bia wo wo se enne yaba chamber o ma trigger ni yaba chamber na wo mu ni na say o man no mu ni o man no eti they have no business coming to seek your re-election anyway I say no madam wasi bebre
manya ma se be journey for ta osiduku ro no Linda Obrempong okluzu han ono e course e na dey ka fa wo.
So, I understand. First of all, let's share a especially Muslim from Shire. In fact, we are causing financial loss to the state.
What are you saying?
Because, in fact, MPs, yeah, driving amount for constituency. Palewale ni himfa obiaba. Muna mu calling say yembra. Yaba na che to be any hasi. What you say? Anyway, at the end of the day, government is fine, because they have business. We don't have any business. So, of course, in fact, it's disrespect. I can start to speak.
Company say you are company so much. I don't want to cut as same from Mumra.
Member, member, because there are a constituency that didn't make parliament. The constituency and vote, I mean, this is a million. It's a 2 hours a million or constituency. Hold on, because I can't pay me back. Remember.
I say, Obrempong, me honorable KTM also are. Mammy said, so Becca did or Casamama for microphone anything. It is not proper. He cannot hold the country to ransom. The country is not his. He can't be given this kind of orders. It can't be right. It can't be right. Let's keep on talking about this. What is it? The parliament is a master of its own regulations and its own rules. It's nonsense. That's not the case. The Supreme Court is spoken. The Speaker is supposed to get the House in order to let us do what we are supposed to be doing. Why we are here? Why does he consistently based on the Constitution? But what does he? You see, listen. Be careful. Listen to what you are saying. If I thought that the Speaker to be saying things like that. He's a seasoned lawyer. He can't be saying that. He doesn't act on the basis of the Constitution, but on the basis of the standard order. Who are the standing order? The master of the. But that's an entirely different matter. What's an entirely different matter? Supreme Court is simply asked that you should give an order to restore what the situation was. You are not listening. We recall Parliament. The Speaker, when he sat, was supposed to do a first thing, and the first thing was supposed to be this: the decision, the ruling that I made on the particular day has been overset, has been stayed by the Supreme Court, which interprets the Constitution, interprets what we do over here. Accordingly, the status quo ante should be reverted to. So when we know that we are going back to this, why should the NDC guys rush to and sit on the side of the evidence? Where were they sitting? Where were the NDC guys sitting? No, you are not listening to me. You are not listening to me. Let's get the facts right. Where were the NDC guys sitting? Is that where they're supposed to be sitting? We have a convention. We have a convention. It's called document nonsense. You guys are not listening. Supreme Court is talking. It is not for us members of parliament on the majority side to be arguing any point. This is a matter. This is for close. It is completely for close. Supreme Court is talking. That's the end of the matter. The others of the Supreme Court were direct. Yeah, I mean, bon.
Anybody at yes, member of parliament when I need to go to say.
Kafacha ni say, Ekobani say, Ekoye putupu. So, Eye Ora Keti Hamo, Masa the General Joma Adansi Asuka, Ana Motin and Kano, or see on this speaker, Emma, Sammy, Adioka, say, Osu Gofute, and we have not to but the Anuque woman say, Assembly and Obiano, about 10 now, my 7 of 4 classes. No, I think Omo no by view this. I can't be beside what I know. And I'm getting yes, the parliament class, and we had no Makata say, was it sitting arrangement? And I'm just sitting arrangement. I wasn't coming by a number because okay, they are Motiano. Anybody else to tell you what also, and we have not said for you, make a speaker, okay, and I don't know a class, say, it's a quite better to the first or the corner. And it's a speaker, some of the two, and other somebody who come by the motion or challenge the speaker and they vote on it and take a decision and parliament sit. But they were not here. And now, Obama say, I know, speaker at any house or no about or also card or can I move.
Okay, or therefore, it is already a year, my phone, you know, my fee, my Moana.
My phone is almost 300 and I see an over KTM every day, also the other one. Now, but meaning, Pakuba Kumbi, Wahaminim, so be back, or come on Casa. Let me see, honorable Mutalani in the Casa, Tamari Central, my Jenison in the Casa. Oh. No, keep your money at the
One of the reasons why I don't want to address as honorable is because of characters like Honorable K.T. Hammond. I mean, why would he make the kind of statement he made? You demanded that the Speaker should recall Parliament. We, the NDC majority, didn't make the demand. And I guess that K.T. Hammond had his signature among those who signed, demanding the Speaker to recall Parliament, as stated in the 1992 Constitution and the Standing Orders. The Speaker did exactly what you demanded. Now, before Parliament sits, the Business Committee ought to have sat to determine the business that Parliament will be taking. They sit a day before the sitting. Yesterday, they were nowhere to be found. Several calls to meet them, they were not available. The NDC leadership, Honorable Atuforsen and the whip were all there. They didn't come. Now this morning, we came to this chamber without other paper. Without other paper indicates the business that ought to be taken in the chamber. We came to this parliament, the business statement, of course, or not, there no other paper, and they were nowhere to be found. Now, we had the quorum to commence business, but we do not have the quorum to take decisions. What use will it be to Parliament and the people of this country when we sit in this chamber and we cannot eat this business? In any case, what business were we supposed to take when they boycotted even the business committee? Now the Speaker had no option than to adjourn, and this man will come and spew out that garbage. I think the people of this country should not give my attention. Thank you. Honorable Mutala Mohammed and I said, Jama, this year, Tamale Central, and I'm not telling Kano. So that then I could see and said, you want to message over some Ubusana, after Jibana,
baby, Aquacosini, Mayanya Waha, but Sebibia to be back to Brunswa, my son Sinafi, found to Sinafi, I have 4 years, I would air course or my Sebijum.
Mate, but the ambassador can have them cut on the query, and say. And I said, "You for the speaker through mobile, Omutrase, Omma, or say, between Tiano Maca and Conanima, no Munihanum. Car cran also did Jumano, Car Naka and my, that is the other people and the better than there. And I said, for a second, but now we need number or be a farmer. No, any house must start then at any house because so by and other people, we think NDC, MPC, or Grana, you can do the business based on the work other people before them. But that be I say no, and no speaker so at the agenda. Parliament can say now there's no agenda. I bet chance to move that day now. Let the Parliament no man chance and Pasodia in Sana also or my and
okay. Or therefore, you better was this man boy out there free. Na shebedwam the adre bibia ni a yebesan yakasa bi why or therefore
I'm grateful.
Okay nti therefore kwasi be chi sentroni ewo TVSYZ ne power ana wote ne kan ono na abribia no na shebedwam nsem bia no ode ba afidie mu no ode bedom yenko ne yenkohwe attach ono abo attach ya time ana na shebedwam tenase no na okom na shebedwam ne nsem ana oka ene ne ye bia na o kire yenkohwe ne mra.
There is a caucus meeting, I think, and I want to join now. There's a caucus meeting. That's why we've been detained. So maybe after the caucus meeting. But my fear is that the speaker is here, and I want to alert the caucus that the speaker is around.
They should have been here for that leadership meeting to take place, and yet they are not. Is it the case that they are going to be making their way here now?
I have to find out. I can't understand what is going on, so that's why I came to see what is going on. I wanted to rush here, lest we won't have quorum and the rest of it. So I want to find out from the caucus what is happening.
Just finally, there's a big criticism of you that you wrote to the speaker to convene Parliament, and yet you're not here to have business conducted.
Well, I cannot say for sure that we are not here. I don't know the decisions they want to take before they join our colleagues in the chamber. So just give me a few minutes. I'll be able to join the caucus and find out what is happening.
Is that to say your members are in the job 600 waiting?
I'm tempted to believe so. Because this meeting is at our behest. So let's find out what is going on.
Thank you.
It's honorable attachia. Ana na wo kasa no ose time oba no ose caucus meeting bi koso na opeso onkonko hwade na afi onko ne nkrofo na amane se speaker naba nti omumna metena se wo mo speaker be betena ase no MPP na hyebedwamfo o manko na hyebedwam ho eno na ye speaker ne gina so a wose ye tu asetena no e de ahyeda onye tu hyeda wie pe na MPP fo na hyebedwamfo se na se ye nie na de no matu aye asetena de ahyeda eye die na MPP amanyoko no omo pese omo ye die di kan mo speaker journey anaso two asetena sheda no eye MPP for mo na mokoi the minority yes MPP minority mo na mokoi na moka che speaker say speaker ye pese wo mra ne ye meto ye adwuma ye so speaker tie mo na fe ene waba emra so time a na hyebedwam for mo de tena se no mo nyina mo ya we enti e ba ne sen ana time speaker betena ase na MPP for any chambers no eyede na si no ageni wie no masen ba semu nie enye mo se enra dai time na speaker oye press conference no ni media no echia no questions bebre ba bonten na nipa bebre peso mo hunu se why ni majority e wo fio na why ni minority e wo fio se utie keti ya mo kasa na okana wo se na de nti na NDC for edimirika no makokọ tena dom kese no ho omakotena majority ho aden eho na ewo so omotena na eti enra those questions no na central for wo percent kwa speaker ensi ne poma bre ank wo ma munna ho mi se enra mi bisa speaker sam mi se speaker wonsem na wo kan me pese mi hunu se see seat na wo declare ne vacant no ya de agusu ye vacant na anasa ye den speaker said abi sa sem no omo de akokodu Supreme Court enti no obejai na ne your friend say ne lawyers ahwesa nsam no so dey na ekoso wo mayimra hyebedwam ede na MPP amanokro no mpeso mo ye mo ana mafre se mo wa sem bi a mo pese mo kan ade na mo nkomra hyebedwam ho na mo nkoka nche speaker ne mo matena baby mo ba bedu parliament aso akose baby ye caucus meeting se dey attach ya ekan ye no ye dey nsem na omo ka ye plans be na ekom MPP mra hyebedwafo mo bewie akotum futuregu Ghana for nyirani ana NDC 4% omo stop government business government bills just eniema bebre enso nei adedi pefe ma Ghana for nyirahu se eye mo no man kom na hyebedwam ho enei the last time mo na mo piefi na hyebedwam ho ana speaker say adjourned ifie no eti sadie we nyira ye ka oman ni ka na mo bone keke ba mo wi a mo ba ko su said and from Sony free NDC and a free Marcelo Cham penny or Sanya Mawe a talk or so I could see that bang. Sanya Mawe a talk or sooner I could see that bang. That bang a talk was I so what them guys here. Eti young Curti Amon, young Curti so Casa.
Any point. This is a matter, this is foreclosed. It is completely foreclosed. Supreme Court is spoken, that is the end of the matter.
The Speaker of Parliament says, when it comes to seating arrangement, that is not his business. He says we should come and sit anywhere and do the business.
Listen, the orders of the Supreme Court were directed specifically to the Speaker. It was the Speaker, it wasn't the leadership, it wasn't the clerk, it wasn't the leadership which made that ruling or that decision. It was the Speaker of Parliament who unconstitutionally made a proclamation, whatever is it that he said the last time. The Supreme Court is told him that he was wrong. Restore matters to what they were before you did that.
Line of action for the MPP.
Well, we will cite him for contempt. We will cite the Speaker for contempt. Watch the face.
I mean, but there was no business. Your side did not come.
Keep on saying
where is the business committee? You should have started yesterday.
Let's get first and first. Yes. First and first, there is a ruling made by him. The ruling is been overset. You're forcing me to repeat myself so many times. The Supreme Court is spoken. We want the decision of the Supreme Court to be respected.
Speaker acknowledged
that what?
Of the Supreme Court.
And that what?
He did. 2 weeks. He did say that he has been served with copies of the judgment of the Supreme Court.
And so what is it? It is not a question of acknowledgement. It's a question of implementation of the decision of the Supreme Court.
But no MPs, none of the 4 MPs has been blocked. But none of the 4 MPs have been blocked from coming to Parliament. None of them have come in here and they've been blocked from accessing the Chamber of Parliament.
You are not listening. You are not listening. I think I'm going to have to say this for the last time because it looks like some of you have become impervious to what is that. Listen to this. The Speaker made a ruling. It was unconstitutional. It was unlawful. By any account, it was illegal. The Supreme Court, contrary to the assertion by he himself and some members of the minority who keep proclaiming from high roofs and high heaven that the Parliament is a master of its own rules and regulations, the Supreme Court is told Babbing and Parliament that you are not. There is an institution which is the master of the rules of Parliament, and that this is what the law is. That you cannot make the decision, the proclamation that you made. I call it proclamation because you think it's a king, it's whatever, it's a lord unto himself. But you made a ruling. It is not right. Supreme Court is telling you it is not right. Go back to that house. Can I not complete? I should complete. Go back there. Honorable. To do what? Yes. It will be the interest of Ghanaians for the Speaker. For the Speaker to respect the ruling of the Supreme Court. Come back to this side rather than continuously adjourning. He is disrespecting the ruling of the Supreme Court.
The 4 MPs have been disallowed from coming in.
You are not listening.
No, when did any of the 4 MPs come in and they were asked not to come in? Because today the second deputy speaker's aide has been in the chamber, but the second deputy speaker himself has not been inside.
You may want to take some medication. It has no point shouting when you are ignorant of the matter. What it is this: it's not for the 4 people to simply show up. The Speaker has made a ruling barring them from coming to the Parliament. Supreme Court is reversed it. It is for the Speaker to sit up there and tell the House that his decision has been reversed, and so we say.
Enti honorable KT Amon ana muhunu no na ne nsem a wokaye no me ka kire say Supreme Court anase your friend say sorry Speaker of Parliament tia me pani abansuma na gbagben o se wanye ruling bia nemom ne communication asem esi ya wo be kan ye no communication na nye ruling ano ye e won asebedwam eti me be kan enra de ya press conference Speaker of Parliament you know enie ne nsem na ewom no e ba be kan ba bia o ka kire o say wanye ruling nemom ne communication ano ye o say marking disagreed vehemently with the content of my communication as the Speaker of Parliament. Or say, marking disagreed vehemently with the content of my communication. Any ruling. Communication as the Speaker of Parliament and proceeded to advance an earlier action he had commenced in the Supreme Court on the 15th of October 2024. And in the first place, the other kind, Honorable Katie Amon Asema Walker say, Speaker, aye ruling no, on your ruling be aye. Nemum said ye na mambrane siano, ano no so di na asem no, ebe to what's up of Parliament. On your ruling be aye, and in the Parliament House, I will Mrasebegem, and yes, Speaker of Parliament, and they decided who is the majority or the minority. And yet the leaders, I will fear, and they decided, say, why any domketwa, any domkesia? It is a CA, ruling no, and no, and why you ruling be I was Speaker of Parliament. Nemum Sam Mamreya Amen, 4 seats, I will Mrasebegem, ye declare the vacant, same moment in the year 2020. ABC what Parliament House war. I didn't MPP for no man come on to qua. For me na MP and you. ABC ye. Wabra no joining MPP among your no free mukoye independent candidate. Professor Michael Kwe. Ejina sa mamre ya so. Akachire ni say. Asem say na mamrane ka. Se party di uba mna sebegem. Na se u free party num. Na se wo so ubeko kwanten kro. Ubeko independent dia. Ene na fe na party no wa feel. Party na feel wa fi ni ma to fam. Wonye ne ba bio. Won kan ho bio. Enam saa ni nti no amamra ne se ye ntimi ma wo kwan ma wo mam na se beje emedi ujuma bia. Age se wo kọ na wo nkrofo kọ to abama wo. Asa ne watimi asa bem. 2020 yes ye. E wo man Ghana ha. Am MPP for budget so ye. E wo mra se beje mfefefe. Eye den na asesa 2024. Ghana enyema bebre aya trosem ane yate awo yabra bom nko a enyema bebre wo mayimu aye trosem nko a enyema enim na MPP foi ababonten no mo be popomani abekeka nsem bebre what I say enti enra ya Speaker of Parliament Abansima na gbagben ni nsem bi okekan e won press conference na say yanko hwene bra
could subvert Ghana's institutional order and the democratic system. Ghanaians have toiled, sacrificed their lives, and shed blood to establish for decades. Ladies and gentlemen, recent acts of the judiciary and executive, and I see them as interference in the workings of Parliament, pose a direct challenge to the essence, jurisdiction, authority, powers, and functioning of the esteemed institution of Parliament, which is the repository of the sovereign will of the people of Ghana. It is increasingly becoming clear the judiciary and the executive are seemingly colluding to weaken Parliament. The decision of the Ghanaian voters in the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections is clear and loud to all discerning people. There is nowhere where the president can refuse to receive a bill passed by Parliament. In fact, the crafters of the Constitution are so careful that they even took away veto power from the president. So in Ghana, our president cannot veto a bill passed by Parliament. It's clear in the Constitution that the president will receive the bill passed by Parliament. If he has concerns, he will communicate to Parliament that I have concerns on this bill that you have passed within 7 days. Then he has 14 days to put across those concerns back to Parliament, and Parliament is called upon to reconsider the bill, taking his inputs into consideration. That is what is in the Constitution and the laws of Ghana. So if the president refuses to even receive the bill, what has he done to the Constitution?
It's the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Aban Sumana Kingsford Bagman, and I would say, Wakasa, no Chilemunina says, say, when we say the executive and the judiciary, Abo Modia, a common wabum, some Betimiama Parliament, I am rare, and there was some Nasibim, Womatanasi. Nenso a year speaker, as a year to Aseda, young Kongo Shanemra, Dientia were to a year and ne Assetana or Nasibim Aseda, and Yanshanemra.
I extend a warm and hearty welcome to each and every one of you as we commence this extraordinary meeting of the 4th session of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic. This meeting is a response to a request for a recall first dated 22nd of October 2024 and a subsequent one dated 24th of October 2024, both pursuant to Article 1123 of the Constitution and Order 53 of the Standing Orders of Parliament. Both requests were signed by more than the constitutionally required signatories of 15% of all members of Parliament. The first request entreats the House to deliberate upon and transact urgent government business. And the businesses were tabulated. And from what we had, there were not many, just a few. The second request, dated 24th, simply added many more items for the consideration of the House. So from the initial request for us to consider 5 items, this second request added 17 more items. And this request came from the MPP members of Parliament, and it was signed on their behalf by the second Deputy Majority Whip, Honorable Alex Tete Jodubois. In fact, both requests were signed by him. Honorable members, I had, under the dictates of the provisions of the Constitution, to issue the summons for you to be here today. And I duly complied with the constitutional provision and got the administration to get the summons published to the notice of all of you. Unfortunately, the signatories who made the request have not shown up, and therefore matters that they wanted us to handle, which are admitted for the consideration of the Business Committee, are not on the order paper, and in fact there's no order paper for today because the business committee could not meet due to the absence of the people who requested for the recall. And as you can see, one side of the house is completely empty. In view of this, we have, as usual, got a quorum to sit, but we have no business before us to transact, because the business committee, as you know, they prepare a report, and this report is adopted by the House as business agreed by the House to transact during the course of the week. In the absence of that, there is no other authority that can put business before you which you have not adopted to transact. In view of the failure of the business committee to sit, as a result of the refusal of those who requested for the recall to show up, we are compelled to once again adjourn the sitting of the House. Knowing the challenges we are facing, it is not advisable to be adjourning from day to day. And so I'll proceed once more to adjourn the meeting indefinitely. And the meeting, this extraordinary meeting, is accordingly adjourned.
Right Honorable Speaker, Aban Simana Kingsford Bagman, and I watch a walk on in seminar. Or so more diom sasha and cratasi at the buyer, Sanka, nay, woman metanasi, woman Rashabedrum, Nanka, woman to me, ending command, no more yet, a Juma said, Rashabedrum yen a Jumano, or mamma, and until Sawasha, and this is for Ababetanasi Kama, but Osha be an MPP for the tia, Pefe, woman Bako Crane, one not Yakunyaso. It is Sabre dear. Omo betimi atenase de nemom business bia ne wo betimi akoso ebi se dom kase na ngasara mo fa business bia mai se wo mo ba beyeye nemom omo a omo de omo lete ba ya na nkrata ba ye de omo nsa hyase se nka omo ba na omo ba na hye bedwum aba di omo dwuma se na hye bedwafo no wo man kase ntimi ama parliament enje ne wagu no enti se wo a wo tie me wo a wo hwe me se wo mra se bedwani eba ne mpasua so na obetwa enturo obeka kase ni mu kire wo a be ba cho parliament aso na hye bedwam ho ana omo yi kire mo no ni wo bisa so honorable adai na namu ni ho munim time amade tenase na hye bedwa chiame pani ebe tenase na mo wahi na mo yeden de make no chase MPP fo na hye bedwa fo betwa mo ho aba betumfu tura gugana fo ani say ni sifo na ayedade ya bia mamo mo na mo se mo beba na hye bedwam ya bia mamo mo anko mo wi ambesa ko tumfu tura guani me kada bia se afie wei enturo twa ane kasa enye no kra no mo ka enko ba bia o Ghana fo enhunu se aturo ana matwa kire o mache ande bia manyoko ni ekoso wo na hye bedwam nyina Ghana fo enhunu no mate enti afie wei mo nturo mo betwa mo nsem abobeka enye no kra ana enim no enko ba bia obi entie mate se asofo ne mpani o mayi asofo ene mpanifo bi nenam ene nam nkurase ene nkronkro so ekeka kira asofo maama se oba obema sorry etia tax maama se oba obema obetwitwa sorry bidim ma ne nyina ye ntro me ba chawo se utie me na wo hwe me a asem bi a won team free Excellency John Dramani maama num se waka se MPP ni bia ana nipa da se ni bia ba ukrom oba wa sorry dem oba wo fie no be ka kire wa ka kire ni se eyentro on for evidence nkire wo asem no asem bi obaba be ka kire wo e dia fa Excellency John Dramani mama ho ka kire ni se for video kyerɛ me ɛnɛ abɛɛfo nti no abere biara deɛ mampani biara bɛka yɛwɔ ne video wɔ hɔ ɛfiri sɛ ɔma yɛ sɛ 2016 saa atorofoɔ kuo no ɔmo teyɛ ɛde gu His John Dramani Mahama ɛne NDC amanyo kuo no ho fi no afi 2024 ɔmbɛtumi ɔmbɛsan the same thing but ɛmfa Ghanafoɔ ntie mu MPP mo ho afono Ghanafoɔ mo di Ghanafoɔ ho nwamɔ mo man no abrɛ mo ɔman na brɛ mo enti bibi biara ni ho a mo bɛka Ghanafoɔ ba betie mu biewu ɔmahu amrahye bɛdwem a mo sim bɛkɔ no ɔma bie mo wai enti mo kɔ mo kɔnso susu kotwa ntoro ɔma bi sam sɛ na mo wai yanka messages ni bi aba na yanye ne yemfa ɛyɛ dwumadie no ensi yan hyase na afi yankenkan messages ni bi messages ni ba na eba okay yan hwe we o say Mr. Host Mr. Host, everything has its end. From day 1 to 30th days remain. What else again? Nanado should understand that only God has no end. He should use the money he steals to settle him in the grave. I always wonder if the Nanado who says he believes in real democracy Rollins never dies by Baba Alaji. Okay, Prue West. Baba, yeah, that's a what the message. Ebed Domayan. Yan toss on the kind messages nibi. Nafi yan told me this. I say, please kindly let us know the standing orders in Parliament and 3 arms of government is Supreme Court superior than Parliament. The 3 arms of government, a the executives, which is the presidency, and then in Crawford. Now about the legislature, which is the parliament and its members of parliament, and son about judiciary. It's a judiciary ground and parliament as so to set the 3 arms of government. It's then they see then you. Okay, yan twaso na fe yanko. I say from Kwame Jadu of Ojobi, what is going on is a clear indication that this MPP group of people has no messages. Kwame. Messages na no me pacho e na atenie no maye fi mama mesua mo pa na fe yan di dwumadie no sade e se na fata bo modien na kura won sem no na ka ne sade tie pepepe ye beje bre na ya kan di ama o say hello, my name is Ramatu from Kumasi Ebuakwa. Are the MP people think about Ghana? I don't think so. They are in okay no, God bless Ghana. Ramatu yeah, that's say what they buy. Okay, I say it is clear that MPP doesn't believe the rule of law. How can you be fighting with the constitution of Ghana and your own party constitution, which is clear to everybody, just because it doesn't favor them? And the SCP, na ye MPP for them, and they encomo muntino, one see and yet, in Joma Masodia PA Supreme Court. Yan told me, I say, good morning, my name is Mr. Ansan. Please find out for me where these 4 members of parliament are. As we speak, I suggest the Supreme Court must subpoena these MPs to find out where they stand in Parliament. Okay, so they would know. Yeah, good morning, Obrempong. Still watching your program live from Cape Coast. Daniel, Medasi Anope se Ugusua onime edi jumedi yabum. I think what Honorable Katie Yamon is not making okay, yeah, that's it. So dear Abba. I say good morning, Mr. Host. This MPP led by Nanado has failed bitterly. They are pulling a tail of a sleeping lion. Ghanaians are not zombies and they cannot take us for granted. We, the good people of Ghana, are going to vote massively to bring back John Dramani Mahama to continue his good works by Razak, popularly known as Vadi, from Lashibi in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. We shall and you bet me the messages nesi bebre aba but ye nya bre an kan wo de na ochina ye bomo de aba wuram na afa yetimi akan de ama afia we misim wani na ho abatuo we mame papa me nua be ma me nua ba ma wani na ho wo beka NDC amanyokuo ho no ma di oman Ghana aye ni yie memma bibi biara nada memma obi ametumfutrom engu wani mo bia meka nada asem mi ngu wasum na enyo man ne bone na yantwene ye oman Ghana na tumi di Dr. Mahmoud Bawumiansem for just 1 year wo krom ha eniba beton mo mansa na o madidi mamo me yen yes mistake no MPP di atro na beje o man no Nyankopon apɔ moto si Nyankopon hyeda ma John Dramani Mahama kotena nkyɛn na yen hwɛ na nado dankwa Kufuado ene alaji ba omya mamuo na yen nyina ye de yani ahu afi wei mamo me yen yemfo so montu aba no ema His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to the extent say ansa ne ye bɛbɔ aba no so kura no na yesi na nkase wahunu sampa ekunumdie no ne kese aba John Dramani Mahama nkyɛn midi de enka Obrempong election Powerlane dwumadie ane ye de be somo a midi ho chiame Nyankopon ya admo kyena me ne obesa hia wo bra abo 11 am e wo kasafidie so makramo